Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Henri Leconte. Welcome, Henri.
Merci. Hello, Jérôme.
So Henri was number 5 in the world on the tennis ATP ranking. He won the Davis Cup. He won Roland Garros in double. He won 19 ATP titles, went in the final of Roland Garros, several times in the semi-final, also a semi-final in Wimbledon and a quarter-final at the US Open. So, Henri, I will start with the keys of performance. What are they in tennis and business?
There are 3 keys. First of all, you have the team, the management, and also determination. I think it's so important. First of all, why? Because tennis, at the beginning, I'm playing just for myself, but around me, there is a team, all the organization. From my point of view, at that time, it was completely different because with 80s and 90s, compared to now, for example, Novak Djokovic had such a lot of people around him just to make sure that everything is being organized.
How many people in a team like
I think it should be about 5 to 6 people between the and plus the management, the cook, the physio, the trainer, and everything. It's a lot of people around him to make sure that he's like in Formula One, for example. It's the same thing. So you need to have that team around you, and after that, you need to have all the management, all the organization. Is not the players who has to do that. It's the manager who organize everything. Could be the tickets, the hotels, stuff like that. Of course, you make your own decision after that. You know, the Novak Djokovic is choosing which hotel, but you need to have that organization, and after that is determination. It's the same thing like in business. I mean, you need to have the team, you need to have the management, all the people around you, and after that, the determination, the choice where you want to go, and of course, the leader who is keep everybody all together to go to that same direction, which is so important.
Yeah, when we take a look at the Davis Cup, I don't think you was a favorite. You were playing against Pete Sampras, Agassi. So how can the magic happen that the underdogs outperform the champions?
It was completely different because, for example, for that match we play Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, and Flack and Segozo. It was world number 1 in doubles, and we are the underdog. You know, Guy Forget, he was number 7 or 8 in the world. Me, I was 154, 59 in the world. I had my 3rd operation on my back, so I was completely the underdog. And for that, the American arrived in Lyon very confident and very arrogant. You know, they just say, oh, it's going to be a nice, an easy match, and who's going to play, we never know. Okay, Guy Forget is playing well, Leconte could play maybe in doubles. And that was the fighting spirit, because you know why? At that time, Yannick Noah, who was able to play also at the same time, even in doubles with Guy, because he did very well, he realized that he has to do something completely different, something crazy. And me, I was just getting ready and prepared 3 months in advance after my 3rd operation to be ready for that match. And for me, it was the main goal, because I lost, like you said, at the final of the French Open. And it was, for me, something, you know, it was terrible. So I had, you know, it was something. I prefer to lose between you and me in the semi-final than in that final against Mats Wilander, because it was something, you know, a disaster. So I had the opportunity to do something unreal, and so I get myself prepared. I had the team around me. I had Patrick Chamagne. We went together in Bretagne, and we did train for 3 months really hard, and then I did practice. And Yannick told me, listen, we're going to win Davis Cup with you, because you're unbeatable with Guy Forget in doubles, and we're going to play the best team in the world. So get ready.
So you chose not to play.
Yeah, I chose not to play at the beginning, but he was almost ready to get into it if something happened. But so I prepared myself. I went there. We went to play, get ready for that match, and then at the last minute, Yannick decided to put me in singles. And I look at Yannick and I say, yeah, okay, I know I'm going to win. And I was already focused and ready to play that match against Pete Sampras. And that's why it's so important to have that confidence, team, organization, and leader. And the leader was Yannick. And he made that happen, because when you have 3 guys coming up and play that match, or like in business, you have the CEO, and then you have all the team around. And for example, you have 3 different personality. What are you going to do? You're going to fight to each other, or you're going to try to do something together? That's what we did. So Yannick just explained, we sit down together with Guy, Arnaud, and all the guys, and we speak to each other for like 3 to 4 hours. We say what we have to say, and at the end we say, okay, we're going to win Davis Cup now. We're going to make something different and important. That's why the team spirit it helped me every day when I wake up in the morning and when I'm doing different events or organizing different in business. It helped me a lot. And
I think for companies it's really the ultimate goal, especially with a new generation, which is more difficult to inspire. And I think the leadership capacity or skill is turning a good team into champions. And this is really the quest for any CEO.
And the best thing to do is communication.
Yes.
What's happening now with what we have? We have all the mobile phone, we have all the email, we're just sending to each other different things, even in different companies. But that at the end, after 10 times, it's coming back to you. The email is coming back with the same thing, and nothing has been changed. Why? Because you didn't have the time to communicate. Look, all of the Visio, like we are doing now. There are some companies that even using the Visio even inside the company, because the people don't want to talk to each other anymore. And I think that's why it's so important, and that determination to bring that back together, to make everybody understand what it is, the relationship between the CEO or the top guns and the people who are behind the scene. For example, like today, we have Thibaut who is behind and is, make sure that we look good and everything is perfect.
Yeah, and I think the difficulty for CEOs, especially in companies like financial companies where it's accounting, it's to formulate what their Davis Cup is. Not just counting numbers, but finding a goal, sharing it to inspire your team.
You have to understand that if you want, you can go to on my website and see what I did for, just to remind 30 years ago when we won Davis Cup. Now it's 31, 32 years. We won because we had a good team. It's not just players, but it's just the doctor, the trainer, all the people around. Or when we won, it's something unusual, it's something unique. But we never spoke about the people who are behind the scene, who make that everything all work together. The trainer, the physical trainer, Frédéric Roche, Patrice Agelower was the coach, who make everything possible to make us in a perfect way, in a perfect organization around us. That's why it's so important.
So if I wrap it up for you, it's the team, of course, recruiting the best people, managing it properly to get the best out of the team, and also the determination or the ability to generate some trust among the
trust and also believe it.
Yes.
You have to believe it and you can win.
Exactly.
You have to, in business, it's the same thing. Why? For example, I'm going to present something to the Big Four in Luxembourg, for example. I'm going to go there and just say, hello, yes, I'm sorry, I have a small idea. Can I explain to you what to do? No, you're going to get there, say, listen, that's great. Okay, you show me that PowerPoint or whatever. It's great, but I have something different and unique and special for you guys because I'm capable to manage and organize myself to be better every day.
True. Maybe a second part I wanted to dig with you is you're a famous left-handed player and known for your risk-taking approach. So how do you approach risk, and how do you recommend to companies that they approach risk? We know that nowadays we live in an era where people hate risk. So how do you approach it?
I'm smiling a little bit because don't worry, Jérôme, it's just I'm not in my life playing and taking risk as I was playing tennis, because I was taking a lot of risk. Sometimes even myself, I just said, and I don't know what I did. Really, it was just a reflex, and then I have to understand what I did. The risk is just about believe about yourself, because you've been working so hard behind the scene. When you're playing a tennis match, for example, at the French Open, why you're so pumped up, why you're so confident? Because you've been working hard behind. And it is. When you calculate everything and you have in your determination something that you want to do, something different, special, because you've been, trying different direction and you just decide with the team and with your company and say, listen, we're going to do something special and different because we have someone who believes then we can do something unique and be a little bit better than the other ones. That's why, sometimes risk, trust, it's so important. Like in tennis, for example, Novak Djokovic, the way he's playing, he's taking risk.
Yes.
It provoked sometimes the opponent to go to that direction too, because you cannot just stand still behind and wait until the other company or the opponent is making mistakes. You can do that, okay, but I think his business is not like that.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes you really have to provoke. It's like a boxing match. You have to go and fight.
So basically, for you, it's risk is backed by a lot of very hard work before.
Of course.
So you manage your risk and you control them, and then maybe by this again determination, this ability to capture the opportunity anytime it comes in.
Yes, and then after that, you just have the feeling. You need to have a little bit of trust and feelings about what's going on that particular moment, and that's why that makes that difference and that investment at that time. Or you have someone who completely crazy is going to do and go for it, and sometimes it would work. But
yeah, you see this with startups, some young people who take huge risk without the hard work, and normally it does not end well for investors, basically.
No.
Maybe a last question about the fighting spirit. Again, you were known for being extremely combative on the court. I would compare you today to Djokovic. I've seen him recently.
I wish, Jérôme, I could be like Djokovic.
I recently saw him in the final of the Australian Open. When he's not leading, he gets very intense, and of course, it's not really. Not a good way to be liked by the public. So, what did you get out of this fighting spirit? What did you win from it? And if you had to do it again, would you keep it the same, or would you compose with it to maybe seduce the public more?
No, I would be the same, like the way I am now. Even now, I'm very open mind. I'm, nice to everybody. But when I'm on court, I have my own personality. I'm a strong character. For example, I played many times against John McEnroe. You think John McEnroe is a nice guy?
You must be kidding me.
Yeah, he cannot be serious. He's a nice guy, but he has his own character, and I think that helped him to be better. When he was down, when he was, fighting against the opponent and the crowd and the umpire, when he was getting really nervous and getting nuts, we can say that, he was playing much better.
Is it a way to get the frustration out?
Yes, sometimes it's important to get the frustration out. As you can see, and you did, like Novak Djokovic he did at the Australian Open, he was talking to his team. Sometimes he was very violent, sometimes he was very upset, sometimes he was very confident. And that's why also at the end, when he won that match and he won the Australian Open and he went to see his team and he fell down and he cried for a long, long time, because it's so hard and complicated, because you always got up and down during the match, and that's why you have to know yourself really well to understand what you have inside, what you have here, but what you have here, because the mindset is important, but most important is the art, is what you ready to give to yourself and to the rest of the world, and also to the crowd, because for example, for me the crowd was very important. To be next to me or to be against me. You have to realize Novak was just saying, if you remember, he was playing Roger Federer in the final of Wimbledon, and Roger Federer had too much point, and the crowd say, Roger, Roger, Roger. For example, me, I was on that situation sometime in Davis Cup. And when Novak Djokovic won that match, and he went to the press conference,
you heard Novak.
and to himself, he just said, no, I never heard Roger. I heard Novak. So could you believe the way it did work and switch to his mind to be able to maintain that and to be so powerful? And character could be completely different. For example, another one, Bjorn Borg, Iceborg. You have to realize that before, like when he was young, when he was a junior, like Roger Federer, he was smashing the racket, screaming all over the place. But then suddenly he went the other way around.
He found another way.
He found another way. And you have to find your own way. You don't have to be like someone or like him or like that or whatever. You have to be yourself, but you have to know yourself much better. If, for example, the way I am now, if I'm able to come back and to have the same, mentality and also keep the same character, I think should have won more Grand Slam tournament because I've been working on myself and mentally. It's important.
Okay, so fighting spirit, if I follow you well, you need to find your own way to have a fighting spirit. You can be the Björn Borg, Federer, Sampras cool style, and they're still fighting inside, or the McEnroe or your style or Djokovic. You just need to find what works for you.
Yeah, you're a good golfer player, so you know what it is. Sometimes you can be, in a good day, and in a bad day. At business, it's the same thing. It's like coming to the office, and then suddenly the CEO is coming, is very happy. Everybody will be happy. You see, if it's very tense, and he gives his energy to the other ones.
That's true.
So that's why it's so important to have the body language. And body language, I've won many matches, and a lot of players have won, or in any sport, by the body language. Because you look at the guy straight in the eye, say, listen, today is going to be a bad day for you.
Exactly. Okay,
so it's not but you learn. It's not something that you just say like that. You learn from yourself, and also from the other people around you.
Perfect. That was very interesting. So, Henri, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I encourage you all to follow his news on his own website, and I will invite another guest next week on the same channel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.